The Chiltern Way is a family-friendly trail that you can hike in 11 sections, taking as much time as you need. This video is part 2, which includes sections 6 and 7 of the trail, Stoken Church to Aldbury, covering 24.25 miles of 134. After a 6-week break from the trail, I put my boots back on with renewed motivation that only the sunny springtime weather could provide. I hope you enjoy watching. Happy trekking. So, truth be known, I have been waiting for springtime. It's I'm not usually the sort of bloke that cares about rain or darkness or the winter months. I've always been like quite easygoing. In fact, winter used to be my favourite month for some odd reason. But this year, I have just been wanting that. Basically, I don't know if you can see that blue sky and a bit of sun. And I have been waiting for this, and I think that's why I haven't been out hiking for 6 weeks. But now I'm feeling like this is the right moment. This is definitely the right moment to come back out. I just thought on section 6 I'd see if Mark Potter wanted to come out of retirement for a day.
Hello.
Welcome to the channel in 2023, Gov.
Good to be back.
Are you going to be hiking more this year, or is this a one-off?
Definitely more hiking, yeah. Well, camping, things like that. Happy days.
We'll talk more about Mark Potter's experience with wild camping and how it's played a useful part of his experience in dealing with challenges that he's had to overcome this year. Later on in the channel when we stop for a cup of coffee, if that's all right with you, Mark.
Yeah, but not too much information.
Not too much information.
Not too much information.
But I still like to drink out of a bottle of water, whereas Mark here has got his, what's it called?
A camelback, governor.
Camel bag.
A camelback.
Back.
Camelback.
What, B-A-C?
B-A-C, yeah, K. Camelback. As in the back of a camel.
See what I mean?
Like not the front of a camel.
Camel back. Never heard of it. But anyway, yeah, so he's got that. And I actually, when I was getting my new bag in Blacks the other day, I saw an osprey, because I do like an osprey, but this osprey had all these tubes hanging around all over the place, and it was obviously what Mark's drinking out of now. It's obviously got some built-in camelback.
Camelback.
And I just saw it all, and it just looked confusing. And it didn't have a waterproof cover at the bottom either, which I like when it chucks it down with rain. So for that reason, it put me off buying the osprey. Just downloaded this OS map. I come across it at the weekend, and I thought, let's just have a look at it and test it out. And I'm telling you, it is going to change the game for hiking for me. You can use it without signal and without internet, so you can just turn your phone into airplane mode to save battery, and it just works on its own sort of sat-nav system somehow, and it tells you exactly where you are. So I typed in the route I'm doing today, section number 6 of the Chiltern Way, from Stonechurch to Wendover Dean, and the route was there, and I just clicked on it, and it shows where I am, and it shows the path, and if I go off track, it points me in the exact way I need to be back, and it is very, very precise. And I've just been so impressed by it today that I just thought I had to mention it out there, even though everyone probably knows about this and probably even told me to get it years ago. But I think it's going to change the game for hiking.
Knocked on notches.
Yeah, Hayes Outdoors will be pleased with that one.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it.
Something that Hayes Outdoors taught me
Yeah, it's stuck.
is that if they've got the same number on, they're related. So that sheep's got 83, and the lamb has obviously got trapped behind this fence. It has also got 83. So they're supposed to be together. So this lamb has got trapped in the fence. So I'm going to just let him in, because I wouldn't have known if it's meant to be this side of the fence, but I don't think it is based on their numbers. So I'm going to open up this gate.
I think it's fingered, isn't it?
If it's not padlocked, it is padlocked.
Yeah, oh, he's just trying to get out.
Hold on. No, it can't.
Winner. Yeah, he's trying to get under or through.
I don't know how it's got in there.
I'm looking at that.
Hold on, that's alright.
Winner.
I don't think I'm going to be able to pick it up. I can't get into the gate.
And there's no farmers around or anything.
That's the only way it's going to get in.
Right, so let's just switch this off now, man.
Yeah. Come on, that's it, this way. This way, through the gate. Kick it open, Gov, as much as you can.
Hang on, maybe.
Be still, be still. Come on, through there.
Come on. Happy days. Well, are you alright? There you go.
Once they finish tonight, they'll be okay.
Happy days for
But he's hungry.
Rescued. Well done. Thanks for your help.
that. I would have been there all day, man.
Stopped off by a nice church here on a bench. Quick sandwich. So Mark,
Yes, boss.
is it fair to say that your year this year has started a bit unpredictably?
It's been an adventure, put it that way, boss, yeah.
And I suppose without sharing too much to the public channel,
Indeed.
should we say that you've been living a very simple and basic lifestyle, shall we say?
Very resourceful, yes. Resourceful, yes.
You could say that your hiking and your nature hobbies
Yeah.
have helped your mental health in the last couple of months.
It's made me a lot more resourceful and more appreciative of what I've got, which was one pair of socks and a pair of boxer shorts for a month nearly.
Right.
Without going into too much detail, yeah. Washing my socks and my boxers in the sink every night to dry them for the following day, and wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
due to unforeseen circumstances. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's made me a lot more resourceful and a lot more, how shall I say, appreciative of what I've got and what you can live on without breaking the law, if you know what I mean.
100%, mate. 100%.
Absolutely, man, yeah. Not saying I haven't broken the law, because I'm not going to admit to that anyway, am I? But yeah, you do have a different mindset.
You're going into survival mode.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, survival mode, yeah. And be the best at what you've got with what you've got, and that's basically it.
Yeah. And it is that appreciation. I mean, I remember when I was hiking on the South Downs, and I was camping and hiking for 8 days, and I had 2 pairs of boxer shorts, you know, walking shorts, 2 t-shirts, and you have to wash them in like a river or in the toilets of your campsite.
Or the campsite, yeah. Or if you haven't, just turn them inside down, wear them again.
Yeah, but when you have to do that in real life, it's not as fun as it is obviously when you're out hiking, because the simple life and the simplicity of hiking.
It wasn't fun at all. It was just survival mode, and obviously being trained the way I am and knowing what I know, it has definitely helped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the experience that you've had through hiking and camping.
It has been mentally testing and slightly draining. But yeah, it's I've got through it. Onwards and upwards, man. Yeah, just be very respectful of what resources you have.
But you know what? For everyone watching this channel and listening to this conversation, right, we take so much for granted in life, and it's only when you go away hiking and camping and strip everything down to its bare necessities and simplicity, where we really appreciate. I remember coming home from my South Downs hike and just turning on the warm water tap, and I remember thinking,
luxury.
Wow.
Luxury.
I've just got a tap.
Yeah.
Oh. And we had campsites. I stayed at campsites.
Eating at a table.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, when we went away and did the Cumbria Way, and we wild camped on the mountain, and we then came back and we were just like, oh, we've actually got a tap, we've actually got a kettle. Yeah. You don't have to boil your water anymore on this stove. And I think that appreciation in life, when you go out hiking and camping, you gain that appreciation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Whereas when you live every day, I think you can just take everything for granted. And then when you're faced with a challenge in life, you don't know quite how to deal with it because you're so used to luxury.
Yeah.
But you've learned not to live on luxury all the time.
Yeah, luxury is just the word. Luxury. That's all it is. You'll be amazed what you can actually get by with day to day, with just the basics, and not having a TV, not having anything like that. Yeah, and I've been on Facebook Live thingy for 3 weeks. You know, to save my battery on my phone. I'm not really having much to say anyhow, man. But yeah, it's do appreciate what you actually have, whether it's the basic shit, because believe me, your things can go full bar very, very quickly. Very, very quickly, boss.
Well, thanks for sharing your experience, Mark, with the channel.
Cheers, boss. No problem. Happy days.
Quarter of a mile left to go out of 15 miles, and Mark starts steaming off to the finish line.
Pop,
on the home straight.
Pop.
He can smell the beer.
Pop, go.
He knows where the pub is, even though he's never been here before. Happy days, boss.
Cheers, boss. Happy trekking. Cheers.
It's now section 7 of the Chiltern Way, from Wendover Dean to Aldbury. 10 to 11 miles today. I'm following on from yesterday's hike with Mark Potter, so I'm doing 2 consecutive days of walking as I have a few days off work. I am solo hiking today. I tried to get Mark Potter out again for a second day of hiking, but you know, he's getting on a bit. He's pushing 53 this year, so you know, I think the old fella needs a rest. So I'm on my own. It's also it's Easter Sunday today, so happy Easter to everybody. Hope you're all having a good day. But I was going to say, yeah, about a year, well, it was actually this day a year ago, me and Mark Potter did 40-mile section of the South Downs Way, and I remember it because both my toenails went black and fell off and took about 9 months to grow back. And yeah, physically I want to have injuries, because if I don't get injuries on a hike, I just don't feel like it's challenged my body. And if I haven't challenged my body physically, I'm not making things easy for my mind. I just think when you push yourself on the hard journeys, it brings the best rewards. And you have to batter your body to make things better and clearer for your mental state. So it's all good. I can lose a couple of toenails if they want to go black and fall off, as long as my mind is refreshed. I was just thinking about what Mark Potter was saying yesterday in our conversation on the bench by the church about his current situation in life, and it was just crossing my mind again how it's the simple living of hiking and camping that enabled him to have the skills in order to cope with the dire situation he found himself in at the start of this year. Everybody would lose their noggin. This would start turning off, because it does, it gets to you. It's going to bring you right down. It'd bring me down. And I think it is Mark's experience in hiking and nature and camping that there's an element of his personality that actually enjoys that lifestyle. It's not like he thrives off it or anything, but I think there's something there that makes him think, right, this is survival mode now. It's like he's out in nature and has to fend for himself with bare necessities. And I said yesterday that I'm at my most happiest in life when I'm out hiking in the sunshine with just my rucksack on my back, just a map, a bottle of water and a flapjack, and maybe my tent. I'm at my happiest. And what have I got? Nothing. One bit of food, some plain water, and a home the size of my body. It is so simple, yet that's when I feel at my most happiest. And I just think the lesson for everybody else who watched Mark's story there was, yeah, luxuries. It's great to want luxuries. I'm not saying it's not. You know, to have a nice car and a nice house and plenty of money in the bank and nice clothes, a nice pair of sunglasses, a nice gold watch. It's fantastic. I want those things because they are niceties of life, and we only live for 70, 80 years, if that. So why not have these luxury things that make us feel good and make us just feel like we're doing well for ourselves? Nothing wrong with that at all. But the point is, luxuries are not happiness. And that's not my opinion, that's a fact, because you see so many rich and famous people that commit suicides. And it just shows that all their wealth and luxuries, they're still utterly miserable. They're depressed, they're unhappy. And so we can't confuse luxuries with happiness. So it is the simple things in life. And getting out hiking and camping can teach every single one of us that the simple things can bring true happiness, whereas luxuries don't. They're nice to have, but having a Ferrari outside on your drive you could still be in your house miserable. But if you look after yourself, keep things simple in your life, don't overcomplicate things, don't try and reach out for riches. There's even a scripture in the Bible, which I agree with, even if you don't agree with the Bible. But there's a scripture there that says, by people reaching out for riches, they've stabbed themselves all over with many pains. And I'm not saying, like, once again, it's good to go after great finance, but if it means you're neglecting your health or your happiness or your family, then you have to strip back, keep things simple, and go back to basic living. And if you get out hiking and go camping, you will know what that basic living is all about, and you will feel that contentment and satisfaction that camping and hiking and being out in nature with simple things brings. And that is what Mark Potter was getting at yesterday. He's used his experience of his hobbies, applied it to a tough time in his life, and it works for him. To gratitude for the simple things. It's so funny, I've just got to this bit here and I know exactly where it is. I don't know if anyone saw my Chesham video. When I first started recording on YouTube, I had just bought my big Agnes tent and I had just pitched it up over there. Unbelievable, it's like over a year ago. It's just made me think back, you know, as to exactly what was going on in my life at that time when I did the Chesham walk. And you can look at my video now, it's on my channel, the Chesham Circular. So, make sure I'm going the right way here. Yeah. Obviously, I think that at the time, I think my dad had, you know, just recently, I think at that time my dad had just recently passed away. But I think it was a few months. But I know for a fact where I was working wasn't doing my mental health very good, if I'm honest. And I'm not going to talk negatively about any company or individuals, but that definitely, if I'm honest, was playing a big part in my mental health. And it's more so now that I've actually been working for my new job now it's coming up to a year this month. And it's funny because, you know, I was actually going to work on Easter Friday, and the owners of the company told me they didn't want me to. They wanted me to have a break, and they actually said they would shut the warehouse down if need be in order for me to have a break. What a lovely couple of people to work for. And that's the difference. When you work at a company day after day, 5 days a week, and it's a big part of your life. And when you've got a really great job that you enjoy, you don't class it as work. You just class it as, this is what I do. It's my daily routine. You've got a bigger purpose than just earning money. You genuinely want to help the company you're working for. And when you've got that motivation, all of a sudden you're going to work and you're happy, and it's vital. And if anybody's watching this now who's just not happy in the job they're doing, and I see it so often, I look at so many people that I know and friends, and they're not happy in their jobs, and they carry on, and that's what I'd done for years. I just carried on, and you know you've got more potential, and you know you've got more to give, but for one reason or another, it's you know, your abilities are not being used in the way that you know you've got the potential to use them, and you've just got to do something about it. And there comes a point in life where you know you've got to take a leap, and it's a risk, and you'll get anxious and you'll get stressed because they're hard life decisions to make. But once you've made them, you'll experience the rewards tenfold. But you've got to take that leap. You've just got to go for it. So yeah, that's just made me think back, because I was obviously over there over a year ago, and it just made me think back to where I was then. Looks like I'm joining your group for temporarily.
All right. Welcome.
Hiya.
Yeah, Graham's the leader. He'll get you.
Does it cost to join?
Not necessarily the walk, but that's the group for all the walk. You have to tell a funny story. Yeah? We're very friendly, provided you pay.
5 mile walk you are right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. Lovely day for it.
Indeed, yeah.
So I'm about to go over the A41, the road towards Aylesbury. Driven along this road many a time before, and we are heading now to the Ashridge Estates, the Bridgewater Monument, Ivinghoe Beacon. Some of you may know it well. I certainly do. I've done a lot of hiking in that area. So we're now on our way to familiar territory. Bring it on. Happy trekking. Happy days. I'm 9 miles into today's hike. I've got 1.5 left to go. I'm just going to tuck into my jam and peanut butter sandwich. Well, we have arrived in Aldbury. Finished the route of section 7. We're in the village centre now of Aldbury, just trying to find the finish point. There it is, the Greyhound pub. Happy days, happy trekking, happy days. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who has watched this video. I hope it's helped to inspire hiking and the outdoors. Please subscribe to keep following my journey on the Chiltern Way with happy trekking and happy days.